G'day YSSY, welcome back to another Thursday trip report. I'm at Sydney International Terminal and today I'm flying overseas for the first time in over a year from here Sydney to Queenstown, New Zealand on Qantas 737. I'm so excited to fly international, go through immigration, custom and use my passport. Without further ado, let's go in and check everything out. So I'm now checking in with Qantas. Only a handful of airlines, including Qantas, have their counters open for check-in. Priority lanes are available for premium passengers. Let's go to New Zealand. As you can imagine, immigration is really quiet. Only 2 counters are open today. E-gates aren't available. It's unreal that I'm in Terminal 1 airside. Duty free is back. You can score some really good alcohol deals. Do you actively shop duty free at the airport? Let me know in the comment down below. I'm looking for some advice here as to whether to shop outside or shop at the airport. High-end shops are still closed, but not like I'm going to buy anything anyway. Qantas has reopened their first class lounge in Terminal 1. Business lounge is still closed. So anyone, including myself, who's eligible to use the business lounge are now allowed to use the first class lounge. Let's go upstairs and check it out. Here's the very iconic flight information display flapper board. The dining area is very busy. It's almost like everyone flying to New Zealand today is here enjoying the exceptional service from the staff. So you don't have to sit in the dining area to have food. You can sit anywhere you want and the staff will look after you. So I found myself a sofa here, much quieter, which is nice. I can also overlook the Sydney CBD and the tarmac here, which is stunning. Before COVID, you'll see lots of Qantas 747 and A380 parked right here. So a staff just came to me and offered me a menu. And you can see on the left hand side, I instantly asked her for a glass of champagne. Cause why not? Oui, champagne. Later I also ordered breakfast and I got scrambled eggs, bacon, baked beans, spinach and a toast. So I visited one of the toilets in the first class lounge, which is pretty cool. You get your own basin and Coke. I've still got an hour spare before boarding, so I picked up a magazine about New Zealand, which is pretty cool. Then I also ordered a chai latte and moved my seat closer to the tarmac to enjoy the tarmac view and all the international flights landing from overseas. Here's the Delta A350-900 passenger flight arriving from LAX. Here's Qatar 777-300ER cargo flight heading home to Doha. And here's me drinking chai latte. You can actually extend the leg rest and recline your seat, which is super amazing. That Air Canada 777 is going to go to Auckland, New Zealand and then Vancouver. Singapore A350-900 going home to Singapore. Qantas A330-200 arriving from Melbourne. Atlas Air 747-8 freighter arrived from Honolulu. Now that's about a smooth landing. I just got myself another cup of chai latte, it's so good. Before long, it's time to head to our gate for Queenstown. That American 787-9 is a passenger flight going to LAX. The American crew just walked past me with police escort to make sure that they don't mix with quarantine-free passengers. I'm now in the gate lounge area for my flight to Queenstown. It's really quiet here, suggesting a really empty flight. That Delta A350 that landed earlier is right in front of me right now. Oh my gosh, I miss flying the A350.
Very good, thank you. Lovely. Welcome back. Thank you. Hello. How are
There you are. Thank you.
Here we go, sir. Thank you.
Our aircraft today to Queenstown is an 8-year-old Qantas Boeing 737-800 Victor Hotel X-Ray Zulu Golf. The aircraft features Boeing Sky interior. Good morning, how are you?
I'm good, how are you? Thanks, welcome on board.
Thank you. So the customer service manager just handed me the New Zealand arrival card. My seat today, 30A. Every economy seat is about 17 inches wide, your leg room or sit pitch, 30. Headphones are back, suggesting there's in-flight entertainment. The new Qantas entertainment system is also installed on this aircraft, which you can find on their 787 and A330. So now the seat features, you've got a TV, it's touchscreen and you can move it. USB port, tray table, you can't fold it but you can move it back and forth. A standard seat pocket, leg room a bit tight but tolerable for this 2.5-hour flight with no one sitting next to me.
Please place all large items wheels first into the overhead lockers and any smaller items underneath the seat in front of you. If you're seated at an emergency exit row today, these are rows 13 and 14. All carry-on baggage, including smaller items, must be placed into the overhead lockers for takeoff and landing. Remember that cabin crew are here to help, so if you do need any assistance, please do not hesitate to ask. And once again, welcome on board and thank you for choosing Qantas.
Every seat also comes with an adjustable and soft headrest. Some questions are COVID-19 related. For example, are you COVID positive? Have you had a test before? Are you going to be willing to move into quarantine if something happens? Etc, etc.
We'd like to welcome back our Qantas and one more frequent flyers, along with our Qantas Business Rewards members on this flight to Queenstown.
Boarding is almost completed. Our flight today is about half full. Most people are sitting at the very front of the aircraft. The last 3 rows are basically empty. I didn't even realise this until the crew brought it up, but the floor's a bit dirty, so she swept it. And now it's sanitizing time and clean the window a bit because it's a bit dirty, not so clear. You want to make sure that your window is clean because the arrival into Queenstown is going to be spectacular.
With the First Officer Andrew Wells and Lisa and the rest of the crew, welcome you aboard this morning's flight across to Queenstown. You may or may not be aware at the moment, but we are just waiting for some passengers that have connected across from the domestic side. So they're coming through customs as we speak. Possibly another 10 minutes or so that we'll be underway. Do appreciate your patience. When we do get going, it's just a short taxi taking off towards the south. 1 or 2 bumps just with the strong wind in Sydney this morning. Some nice views though, and the flying time across to Queenstown is just under 2 hours and 40 minutes. Is the chance of a couple of bumps, as I mentioned, on the way across. We'll certainly keep it as smooth as we can and into Queenstown itself. At this stage, still hope to be on schedule at around 2:30 with a 2-hour time zone change. Just coming up to 11:26 as we speak, and the weather is a little bit wet today, unfortunately, and quite cold. Currently it's 4 degrees, a top of 7, and as always, a reasonably fresh breeze blowing over there. If anything changes, we'll certainly keep you updated. Otherwise, speak to you again just before I descend with a quick arrival update. Hope you enjoy the flight. Once again, welcome on board.
The home of Qantas. Give us your attention for the next few minutes to make your journey a safe one, as we take a journey through 100 years of innovation and Australian spirit.
This here's an Avro 504 biplane, made from timber and canvas. You're flying on a Qantas Boeing 737. Sounds a bit flasher than this old girl.
Find one under your seat, next to it, or in the leg rest. Remove your life jacket from the pouch by pulling the tab. Put it over your head, pass the strap around your waist, clip at the front, then tighten. There's a red tag and a mouthpiece for inflation.
The Air New Zealand 21neo is also heading to New Zealand, but I'm not too sure where. By the way, I've got a Air New Zealand trip report in my channel, you can go check it out. It's from Queenstown to Sydney. That Qantas 737 is also heading somewhere New Zealand. amazing service began before we actually took off. So while we were waiting for the domestic passengers to get on the plane, the customer service manager came all the way down to 38 and said hi to me, and basically thanking me for being a gold and flying Qantas once again. That was very nice. Later, after took off, her colleague back in economy gave me welcome drinks and I opted for a mineral water. They also took my meal order first, so I'm gonna have my lunch before anyone else. When I travel long haul international, I usually carry my own headphone and that wire that comes with it. But I haven't done that in a while, and this is my first time in a while. I brought my Bose headphone but not that wire or cable, so I can't use it to watch my movie, which is annoying, so I have to use that standard economy ones. By the way, as you can see on the screen, there's plenty of movies to choose from. Most of them are English movies. There's also a flight map.
There you go, sir. Enjoy lunch.
So my lunch has arrived. Today we've got two options. This one I've got is a vegetable ragu tortellini. Second option was chicken salad. Presentation average, taste pretty good. So when the crew pushed out the trolley and began the meal service, I've already finished my lunch. They came to me again to offer me more drinks. I got a bottle of red wine and a paper cup that I'm gonna have tea with later. They're treating me so good today, and that's why I like flying Qantas. Now let's head to the lavatory when there's no line. It's quite tricky to get there, even the row is empty because the leg room is quite tight. If there was someone sitting next to me, I would have to get them to stand up. Welcome on board Qantas 737 Economy Lavatory down at the back. Very small one here, but you've got good lighting, which is always nice. The sink here will only fit one of your hands. It's ridiculously tiny. But obviously when Boeing designed this, they've put something into passengers' mind, like putting coat hooks and mirrors everywhere, so that the sense of space is a bit more. The crew are now offering coffee and tea.
Yes, please.
There you go.
After coffee and tea, we got some Lind or Chockies. For the rest of the flight, I'm going to read a book. I'm not going to watch a movie because I prefer using my own noise cancelling headphone, but I can't do that today. And also at the same time, going to appreciate that gorgeous wing view. By the way, there's a charging port down there between every two seats. About 45 minutes before landing into Queenstown, the crew handed out extra face masks.
Is that an outbreak of COVID-19 could change the conditions you are travelling under. Your return travel back to Australia could be paused or suspended at any time. If you travel during this time, you may need to go into managed isolation on arrival. By undertaking travel at this time, you are accepting it is your responsibility to manage any COVID-19 related travel disrupts and associated costs. Please check the terms and conditions of your tickets and travel insurance. You will also notice some extra precautions when you arrive into New Zealand. Please cooperate with staff requests. Once in New Zealand, there are a few things you should do to keep yourself and others safe from COVID-19. If you feel unwell at any time, isolate in your accommodation and call the helpline for advice. The helpline number is on the quarantine-free travel pamphlet. Website www.covid19.government.nz has all the New Zealand COVID-19 information. Please check in regular for any updates or changes to quarantine-free travel. On arrival, download the NZ COVID Tracer app onto your smartphone. This is free from the app.
The crew just gave me this cupcake and I think it's from business class. They're so nice to me once again. They're the best set of Qantas crew I've encountered in a while.
Our lakes, rivers, lands and seas.
This is a video about a custom in New Zealand, about what you can't bring into the country.
It's vulnerable to pests and diseases. That's why we gather, as if the wind don't depend on it, because it does. And your health. Fruits, vegetables,
will soon be landing into Queenstown, New Zealand, so I'll quickly conclude this trip report with Qantas right here, right now. First of all, it was great to be back in the international terminal once again without having to think about whether there's going to be a flight back to Australia or having to quarantine there and here. Check-in in New Zealand was really fast and easy. I'm no Australian or Kiwi, but a temporary resident in Australia, so during check-in they had to check my return flight back to Australia. Immigration and security really fast, there was like no one there. The first class lounge was absolutely amazing. The one-on-one service was really good. I got a really kind lady serving me, and the food and drinks were top-notch. Once on board, a very friendly welcome from our customer service manager. While we were waiting for the delayed passengers to board the plane from the domestic terminal, she came down to my seat 38 and said hi to me, and she said she'll make sure that I get to pick my first meal choice, which did happen, and I finished my meal before anyone else actually got their meal. I also really appreciate the fact that the other crew member saw some rubbish on the floor and without hesitation she swept it away. I don't think I've ever seen a cabin crew doing that on any airline. After we took off from Sydney, I got my drink of choice and then the meal obviously. Alcohol was free of charge, but currently due to COVID there's no spirits like gin and tonic. And the crew explained to me that it's because they have to mix it for us and Qantas doesn't want that to happen during COVID. Nonetheless, I had a sparkling water, tea and red wine and also the pasta, and I think that's not bad at all for a short international flight. I also really appreciate the fact that the crew addressed me Mr. Wong every single time they talk with me, and that just shows how professional they are. So overall today I had a really splendid experience with Qantas and the Jet Connect cabin crew. This is my first time flying with Jet Connect cabin crew and I look forward to do that again in the near future. Now for your information, today I used Asia Miles for this one-way journey from Adelaide to Sydney, overnight in Sydney, and then next day Sydney to Queenstown. The tax is about 150 Australian dollars, which is bloody expensive, and 15,000 Asia Miles. If you were to pay for this flight with money, it could range from 200 to 500 Aussie dollars one way. It really depends on the season and whether there's discount or not. Now here we are, YSSquad. Thanks so much for watching. You can tag me with this special hashtag whenever you fly again so I can see where your journey is taking you. If you're new to my channel, I upload a new trip report here every Thursday, 12 PM Hong Kong time. That's 2 o'clock in Sydney, Australia and 4 o'clock in New Zealand. I would really appreciate if you could like this video, comment down below and share this video with your aviation friends. I'm also available on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook and Patreon. You can go keep up to date with me on those social media platforms. I offer memberships on Patreon and YouTube directly. Now that's it for the video today. There'll be no Q&A today unfortunately because I'm really tired. I just had my mid-semester exam. Now enjoy the landing and approach into beautiful Queenstown. See you next week. Bye.
Qantas, where the local time is 2:50. As the seatbelt sign is still switched on, please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened. For safety reasons, if using stairs to disembark, make sure you hold the handrail to avoid tripping. If you have any concerns, please use the forward door. Use the designated walkway to proceed to the terminal. You must refrain from using electronic devices until you're inside the terminal. Smoking and the use of e-cigarettes is not permitted on disembarking or throughout the terminal. Just a reminder, carry-on baggage may have moved in the overhead lockers and could fall out, so please take care. Don't forget to check your seat and seat pocket for any personal items. You must continue to wear a face mask as you exit the aircraft and in the terminal building. Please take all leftover masks or wipes with you and dispose of them in the general waste bins. Once the seatbelt sign is off, where possible, please maintain appropriate distancing between yourself and other customers as you disembark. If you can reach your mobile phone, you can now switch off flight mode. On behalf of all us at Qantas and Oneworld, thank you for choosing to fly with us. If you're visiting Queenstown, we hope you enjoy your stay, and of course to those returning, welcome home.
Oh, good.
Get champagne to the yellow bit. Thanks, as you found your hat, fantastic. Have a lovely holiday, enjoy your holiday. Have a good one, Mr. Wong. Hopefully we see you next time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Boston. For your safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened and your cabin baggage stowed until the seatbelt sign has been turned off.